Well, really, it was not hard because when you are, if you know how to speak, you speak English, and especially if you're educated, you know how the history of the United States, and then they always ask you about the elected officials who are of the United States. If you read, and if you are educated, it's not that much hard, when you become a citizen. Just the only thing there is, when you are filing all these documents, need it should be like all the documents they needed. It should be there. So that's the only one that is the hardest part. And then when you go to San Francisco, when filing is not that bad, but when you come of the interviewing, that is the one that is kind of like a little bit nervous. You're nervous. But it's not that really like you expect. It's really hard because but you are nervous. I admit that you don't know what is coming in. You don't expect any question that anything that they will ask you, so you just wait. The waiting is really hard. So it is. I don't think that was really hard, but it's kind of nerve-wracking, to become a citizen because you don't know what are the questions being asked. Actually, it was not really hard, but when you are filing for citizenship, you have to see to it that you have all the documents, when you file for citizenship. And then the nerve-wracking is that when the time for interview, that you don't know what are the questions being thrown to you, so you just wait. The waiting is really kind of like nervous, but actually it was not really hard if if you are reading and you know what is the history of the United States. So that's how it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, well, when I first came here, I don't really look for a job because the children were so young. Gladys have not gone to school yet, and then my daughter Joy is in grade 1 and Glenn is grade 2. So my husband was saying that instead of looking for a job and ask the people to babysit the children, I watch my children. I didn't go to work until I think that my children were like 11 or 12 years old, that they can be left alone. So I applied 2 jobs. The one is in the post office. I passed the exam in the post office, but the thing is that I didn't get that job because I will start from 12 in the evening, but it is in San Francisco. It is not in Delhi City, so I refused that. I didn't go that one. So the next one I did, my friend asked me, said, oh, there is an opening in Fireman's Fund, insurance company. So that's the only, I work in there, and that's the only job I work. But then I just worked, I think, 7 years or something. I got so sick that I have the osteoporosis, my bones were brittle. Then I stopped working. Then they called me again to work, but then my husband doesn't want me to go anymore because my office moved to San Rafael across the bay. And then I don't drive, so I didn't go. So that's the only job I had. So I didn't apply for any at all. I just take care of the children, and then
Okay. Is there anything you miss from your home country that you can't get here or that you can't do here?
Well, I think anything that, the only thing you miss in the Philippines is that there, you eat any food that you really like, that's number one. But nowadays, we have lots of Filipino restaurant in here. So practically you can really get anything here. That the only thing that you cannot get in here, that bless you, that it's really the Philippines. We have helper, we have maids, we have this, And not here. When you get someone here, my goodness, it will cost you a fortune to have a maid to stay with you. It's not, in the Philippines, when my children are growing, I have two helpers. So that's the only thing. But the rest now you can get it here. There are lots of Filipino restaurants in here, so it comes to foods, you can get it. Yeah, so that's...
Alright, so was there ever a time when you felt like culture shock, like everything was just so different you didn't understand?
Oh yeah, the first time we arrived here, the first time when I arrived here, I went to our house. It's in Broadmoor. I live near that church, Broadmoor Presbyterian Church, and I am a Presbyterian from the Philippines. So when I saw that church, when I saw that house, I told my husband, first I'm not intending to buy that house because it's a fixer-upper. But then when I saw that church, I said, oh, I like that house, so we get that house, because I can walk to the church. I don't drive, I can walk and then bring my children. So it is really a shocker because when I was there, I could hardly understand what they're talking, They talk so fast and the way how they talk is different from the way I talk, That is number one that really bothers me. And then when I talk, I'm so scared also they might not understand me because my accent. And then in that church, I learned a lot of things from that church. And there's a lady that really, I consider her as my mentor. And everything I said that, she said, come on, I like you to join this, Her name is Mrs. Twedy, Margie Twedy. I said, no. I said, why not? I said, oh, you might not understand me. And besides, I am different. What is the different? He said, Perla, in the eyes of God, there's no boundary. Everybody is the same. Don't worry about that. And then, we are all the same. That is what she told me. She taught me everything. She took me to where the post office, the shopping center, to the grocery, just to help me out. And she is wonderful. She's still alive, 95 years old. She was our neighbor before at Broadmoor. Those are really lots of things that shocked me because when you go to the laundry, because there's no laundry in the Philippines, you have the maid to wash your clothes. You go to this laundry, what do you think, this lots of machine there, and then, and first I was to think, how did you do this? You don't know how to operate, That's another thing. That's, of course, is shocking. So when I have my washing machine at home, it's another thing. You have to learn everything, how to make it work. So there's so many things that,